Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
But giving him the benefit of the doubt. Now, if it was all true, if it was a shoot, if that's the way he really felt. My thing is this, man. I'm not here to let the fans in on what we got going on personally. I don't. The fans don't need to know if I got a beef with any of these guys in the back. No, I'm serious. That ain't something that I think is professional, like you said a minute ago. It was definitely not professional. If I got a beef with Hangman Adam Page for saying what he said, I'm gonna deal with it 1-on-1 in the locker room. And if we got to fight about it, we'll fight about it. Whatever we got to do to get it off our chest, we'll do it. If I got a problem with the Young Bucks, I'm going to tell those guys to their face. I'm not going to. It's not something for the world to really know, unless you just want them to know it. Unless you just want the fans to know, hey man, I don't, I don't like these guys. Okay. Why do they have to know that? I don't know. Maybe to create more of an image to where it gets more heat going between us when we're working. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the thought process anyway. But for business purposes and business purposes only, it's just like I got a worker. Just say, for instance, if I had the Undertaker and he was working a day, and he was on my television, and then next thing you know, he wanted to go on Twitch, and go outside of the boundaries of what we're trying to do with him on television. It will be a problem. And in this situation right here, going into a situation like this, creating something like this, if it's real, it will be a problem.
I mean, but I feel like there's no benefit of it not being, of it being a work, in my opinion, right? I mean,
Hey,
I
man,
know, I know
a
it's
lot,
wrestling.
a lot of people think that. A lot of people say, "Man,
Uh,
this is a work, man. CM
Half
Punk
of
is."
our chat right now says it's a work. Half of
I
it says it's
mean,
not a work.
so I've heard so many people say that, but I'm speaking like literally from a promoter standpoint, from a worker standpoint that has been doing this for quite some time, and I do know AEW has changed the game a little bit as far as the way fans are to look at wrestling, and and I get it, Maybe this is part of it. I have no idea, but I do know, watching the show, you could tell, certain guys don't really, you know, actually get along with each other.
Well,
But that
well, how,
is the thing.
how about we take a look at something that was said in the post fight press conference? You said guys who don't really like one another. Again, a lot of this stemmed from the issues with Hangman Adam Page when he was the world champion and CM Punk. These were CM Punk's comments regarding Hangman Adam Page at the AEW presser.
But what did I ever do in this world to deserve an empty-headed, dumb like Hangman Adam Page to go out on national television and go into business for himself? For what? What did I do, Dave? What did I ever do?
You tell me.
Didn't do a damn thing.
I made it really clear in Forbes, and I just want to make it clear again. Nick,
It's not his position to make it very clear. There's people who call themselves EVPs that should have known better. It's none of their business. I understand sticking up for your friends. I get it. I stuck up for that guy more than anybody. Okay? I paid his bills until I didn't, and it was my decision not to.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have no commented when Nick first said it. It's my fault, and if I hadn't, it's my fault. It's my
I
fault.
appreciate
I
that.
should have
but
just taken it head on because you never
But I'm
said
trying to
anything.
run a business, and when somebody who hasn't done a damn thing in this business jeopardizes the first $1 million house that this company has ever drawn off of my back and goes on national television and does that, it's a disgrace to this industry. It's a disgrace to this company. Now, we're far beyond apologies, right? I gave him a chance. It did not get handled, and you saw what I had to do, which is very regrettable, lowering myself to his level. But that's where we're at right now. And I will still walk up and down this hallway and say, if you have a problem with me, take it up with me. Let's go. What's your question, Nick?
Well, there you have it. What's your question, Nick?
Hey, man.
That seems like a step over the line.
Hey, man. If the guys in the locker room, listened to it and deciphered it the way I would have deciphered it if I was one of those guys in the locker room, he'll be fighting every time he walked through the locker room.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, I'm walking down the hallway. Every time he came through the hallway, he'd be in a fight. Every time I saw him, he'd be in a fight. It would be no way we could coexist together. If I was the top guy in that company, we would have to have a fight. I'm just saying.
Eh, eh,
Literally. I'm serious. I don't know why. That's just the
but
nature
what,
of the
but
beast.
what specifically did he say that you would have taken?
Well, if it's real, because you know it's a thing in the business. With a guy, the top guy, uh, draw a house, and we always would go, "Hey, man, thanks for the house, man." But it was a thing out of respect. The guy that was at the top of the card, he never came up to us and said, "Hey, man, I drew the house tonight. Y'all can thank me."
So and CM Punk said the first $1 million gate off of my back.
Exactly. And those guys been there working their asses off. They've been working their asses off. And then to have to hear that, I would take liberty. Oh man, I really would. Because there again, it's not something that the fans need to be privy to, as far as real feelings like that. Because if that's the way you really feel, man, we would really have a problem. If that's the way you really felt. Now, if it's an angle, everything's wide open. You know what I mean? But if it's not, like I say, we would have a problem. I know, you know, if I felt like that with any of my peers, I've never felt like that with any of my peers that I've ever had to work with. To where I thought, man, I want to fight the guy. I saw Bobby Fish called him out to a fight. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I'm sure Bobby Fish called him out to a fight after hearing words like that, because Bobby Fish is a guy who said, "Man, I can fight. I can protect. But you want to fight? I'll fight you." So, you know, in essence, those are fighting words. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, a
Those are
thousand percent.
that's what I mean. No diss to CM Punk or anything like that, but I know I would want to fight him. I would. I'm serious. Just because you took it there, and I didn't think it need to be taken there, because there again, you're someone in a leadership perspective, but when you're in a leadership perspective of leadership position, you got to act like it. Some things you just got to let blow over. Some things you just got to let go over your head. Some things like I said, you got to pull the person aside and say, "Hey, man, let me talk to you for a second. Hey, man, do you really think I feel that way?" You know what I mean? And really get into the person's head, just like I did with those guys in TNA. I didn't want those guys to think I was coming in there big shotting them because I was Booker T. And you could ask each and every one of them. AJ Styles is one of my guys. He's like one of my students. I look at him as, because I knew I was there to help try to teach him something. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you ask AJ, he'll tell you what I taught him more than anything. But I'm sure, I could have went in there and big shot at all those guys, but I wouldn't have gained anything from that. And we wouldn't have even had a chance to win by having that kind of attitude. Some things you got to be able to say, "Man, I'm bigger than that." Just like he said, he lowered himself to Hangman's level. I say with young people, sometimes you got to be able to go down to their level in order to be able to bring them up to your level. Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
What's up, this Booker T, two-time Hall of Famer. I know you're checking out the shine, checking out the gloss. I want to thank you guys for checking out Row on YouTube. Hey, don't forget to click and subscribe to check out all the latest content right here each and every week. Now, can you dig that, sucker?